Our lives are full of music, and music is powerful. It drives us, stirs the soul, prides itself on its ability to spark romance or create conversation. Music's unique characteristics are a strong influence, and I wanted to understand this influence in action. I wanted to discover the soundtrack of my life and see what it revealed about myself and the world around me. From January 1st, 2017 through December 31st, I undertook the 365 Songs Challenge. One song a day, no repeats. Every entry drew from my experiences, typically a song I'd heard that day, or a piece that complemented life's themes. It felt like a massive undertaking at first, but it soon became a very natural and exciting part of my day. And, most importantly, I indeed learned a lot about myself. For starters, I learned there were a lot of awesome songs I'd never heard before. My first surprise of the year was Waiting for a Star to Fall by Italian indie rock band Lionville. The song was originally performed by one-hit wonder Boy Meets Girl, but Lionville's cover introduced me to their broader catalog of work. Their stuff has a strong Toto vibe to it, with songs like Another Day being among my favorites. I also became acquainted with Can't Fight This Feeling by REO Speedwagon, Key Largo by Bernie Higgins, Amanda by Boston, Living in Another World by Talk Talk, and so much more. I also learned that grocery stores have the best set lists. I heard I'd Really Love to See You Tonight by Dan Seals for the very first time while pumping gas, and I also heard a lot of Lionel Richie, Lenny Kravitz, and Owl City while grocery shopping. In fact, I distinctly remember dancing on the ice cream aisle when Fireflies came on. Something else I learned about myself. My musical tastes range from hopeless romantic to mindful soul searcher. I had one week-long stretch where most of the entries were sappy 80s love songs. And on the flip side, What a Beautiful Name by Hillsong made it onto the list twice, entirely by accident. Fortunately, they were different recordings, and didn't break my no repeats rule. Heck, I had My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion as an entry, and the very next day had Redeemer by Nicole C. Mullen. I guess what I'm saying here is, I think a lot about my heart and soul, in matters of love and matters of God, and that was readily reflected in the music. Elsewhere, my friend Jeffrey Bridges has been running these music polls on Twitter for well over a year, and I quickly became obsessed with winning as many of them as possible. Songs from Aerosmith, Journey, Whitney Houston, and others made it onto the project playlist, inspired directly by my wins and losses. I was also captivated by movies in 2017. I saw 73 films last year. Some I'd seen before, and others I hadn't. But by the end of the year, I'd rewatched all 13 Star Trek films, and every Marvel movie. And during the fall and winter, I watched all of the Star Wars films, most of them for the very first time. Watching that many films, the same year you're doing a music project, you quickly get swept up in the musical language of cinema. Whether we're talking John Williams or Awesome Mix Volume 2, music plays a big role in how we perceive these stories and how they come to life. That's actually a good segue into my favorite entry from the year.
The whispers in the morning.
Air Supply's cover of The Power of Love. I heard this song for the first time in Adam Wingard's Death Note, and I was instantly captivated by it. The film has a peculiar way of weaving pop songs into the story to convey emotion, and this particular song drops at a very pivotal moment. Not everyone loved the film, and that's okay, but Wingard's usage of music was most awesome. I've really only scratched the surface here. After all, I had 365 entries. That's 365 days of life, and all its ups, and all its downs. Filling that life with music, letting that music soothe the soul and reflect who I am as an individual, it definitely makes you appreciate the power of the beat. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked my little experiment with new vlogging formats. I'll be back next month with a Valentine's Day themed essay, so gear up for that. And I'll see y'all again soon.